Hello there, Star Wars fans, and welcome to another RebelScum.com video review. And today we are going to be reviewing the new Mission Fleet from the newest wave of Mission Fleet, Mandalorian Gauntlet Starfighter with the first Mission Fleet Lady Bo-Katan, which I think is kind of hilarious in a messed up way. Because Bo-Katan's been around, as many of us know, and for those of you who don't know, for many years. Bo-Katan's been around since very early on into the Clone Wars series. I want to say as early as Season 2, if not Season 2, Season 3. And she was introduced as basically Pre Vizsla's right-hand man, or woman. And she is a really awesome character, very powerful Mandalorian, very competent Mandalorian, and ends up becoming Mandalore in her own right for at least a brief period of time. Through the period of Clone Wars through The Mandalorian Season 2, we see that Mandalore changes hands a few times, and not all of them are technically Mandalorians by race, at least. So, Bo-Katan is one of those. Now, featured is one of the awesome new vehicles of the Mission Fleet, and this is actually one of the truly new vehicles of Mission Fleet, the Gauntlet Starfighter. Now, the Gauntlet is a larger class of starfighter. It is able to carry multiple Mandalorian troops. We see it multiple times throughout the Clone Wars series. We see it throughout Rebels series, and that's mostly where we see the Gauntlet fighters. We also do see it in the Mandalorian series. It is the primary vehicle that Bo-Katan, Koska Reeves, and Axe Wolves are traveling in. But this one right here is going to be, of course, a little bit smaller. You're not going to be able to fit a ton of figures in it because this is for a 2-inch scale line, but it's also the first actual Gauntlet fighter toy we've gotten for regular action figures. There wasn't ever one released for 3 3/4 scale for some reason, even though by the time we saw these on screen, Clone Wars was, as a toy line, was still doing pretty well and still getting a decent amount of figures and vehicles, but it's also kind of where it started to slow down a bit. So it's kind of a shame that we never got an actual 3 3/4 scale Gauntlet fighter. We also haven't even gotten so much as the smaller class Fang fighter, which is a single piloted vehicle. Very similar in design, however. And hopefully, maybe in the future, we'll start seeing those now that we're actually starting to get vehicles like this. There's also a Lego set, which if you haven't seen it yet, either stay tuned or tune in to the Lego review of the new Gauntlet Lego set. But enough about that. Here it is. It's 2-inch scale, like I said moments ago. This is pretty cool. I know we haven't done a ton of these reviews yet on RebelScum.com, but on the other channel that I've done reviews on, we did do quite a bit of Mission Fleet reviews because Mission Fleet is really awesome, actually. I dig it. It's a cool line. It's great for the kiddos. It also has a decent amount of collectability to itself, and the figures aren't bad. The figures are actually really cool. So here's the box. No more windows. There was windows on some of the earlier waves of packaging for some of the other vehicles. For example, you could see like the figure in the window. Not on this one. There is no windows here. No bubbles. On the side there is some images of the toy itself. On the back, you've got more images of the toy itself. It's pretty cool. But let's look at the actual toy. Got some instructions on how to put together such a simple thing. Inside, you've got little Bo-Katan. You've got the main part of the ship, the wings, some sort of weird paper envelope. I know Hasbro's trying to reduce their carbon footprint, which good for them for trying to, help save the world. But this is kind of strange. This is a little weird. Man, that tape is really good, though. All right, so this basically has all of the accessories, her Mandalorian blaster pistols, which are actually pretty decent size and about the size of the 3 3/4 scale blaster pistols. We've got her jetpack. We've got her energy gauntlet shield. We've got her blast effect for her cannon because a lot of the vehicles come with an E-web cannon styled weapon. There you go. They're pretty quick and easy to assemble. Little mounted cannons that you can even port onto various vehicles from across the toy line. The playability in this toy line has been incredible. Here we have the wings, and here is the fighter pod. Has a little bit of landing gear right there under the front of the vehicle, which is pretty cool. It's nice for the articulation. Attaching the wings are pretty simple. I don't think either of them are labeled to be one side or the other, so it doesn't really seem like it matters which one you plug into where. So you got these little ports here on the side. You just, oh, maybe it does. Let's see. Oh, it does matter. Okay, so one port is bigger than the other. There you go. All right, now look at us learning things together. There is the Starfighter. Now, what's also cool in a feature from the cartoons is the wings do rotate around the pod, and it's on a nice little ratcheting joint. Oh, I just pulled the wing right out. It's on a nice little ratcheting joint, so you can get all kinds of cool different like flight poses. I like that. That's really sweet. Again, hopefully Hasbro brings this kind of energy back into the 3 3/4 scale, because while this is awesome, we want to see more vehicles again in 3 3/4, especially vintage collection. I would love a VC Gauntlet Fighter, and I'm sure a lot of other fans watching right now, I'm sure a lot of you guys would too. Let us know in the comments. What do you think about that? Do you want to see a Gauntlet in 3 3/4 scale? All right, now the Bo-Katan figure unfortunately does not have a swappable head or removable helmet. It is just a helmeted figure. It is her helmet design. They got the detailing really good on that, actually. The detailing on these figures usually is pretty good. Now, because these figures are so small, while she does have her holsters here, no, you cannot put her blasters in the holsters. As you can see, they're a little big. Keep in mind, this line isn't meant to be like perfectly in scale with its accessories and vehicles and things, obviously. This is a line for kiddos. But I think this is a nice little middle ground between being a really, really kiddie line, but also being a good action figure line. So she can hold her blaster pistols in her hands. Just put those in her hands. You can plug in her jetpack. There, plugs into her back. Of course, obviously her jetpack also isn't to scale because she doesn't have a huge jetpack like this in the cartoons or even in the Mandalorian. That looks so awesome. And you can put this, clips in over the wrist. You can put this on either arm, so she can have her little energy shield up, which I think is really awesome. Another really cool thing they introduced in the Clone Wars cartoon. And then take off her, because I'm sure you're going to probably have to take off her jetpack to put her in. Here is the fighter. Just open up the cockpit right there. While she is 5 POA, what's cool about the 2-inch line is the figures don't just move up and down. They also have really good shoulder joints, so they can go out. And then you can close that up, and then there you go. Now she's in her Starfighter. They did a really good job designing this. This thing is really cool. There you go. There it is in its landed position. There she is. Now, while they called this the Gauntlet Fighter, technically this is more like a Fang Fighter. And the Fang Fighter, like I said, is much like the Gauntlet Fighter, but smaller, a single man pod. I know she usually travels in a Gauntlet Fighter, and her Gauntlet Fighter is blue and gray, much like this one is. However, this is more like a Fang Fighter in design. Fang Fighters are very, very similar in design to the Gauntlet Fighters, just basically smaller with a single pilot cockpit, and that's basically it. So I do like that, what they were trying to go with here, but technically this would technically be a Fang Fighter. But this is also the first Fang Fighter vehicle for action figures, and again, that is something spectacular. So there you go. Guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video review featuring the Gauntlet Starfighter with Bo-Katan from the Mission Fleet toy line. This has been a really awesome toy line. I can't wait to see what they do next. Hopefully here pretty soon we'll probably be reviewing the Moff Gideon tie. Hopefully we're able to pick one up for that. So stay tuned for more Mission Fleet, because more Mission Fleet reviews are coming. It is a pretty cool toy line. What do you think of the Mission Fleet? Do you like it? Do you like it for your kids? Maybe it doesn't interest you as a collector, but maybe you want to help get your kids into collecting or get your kids into Star Wars, and this keeps them out of dad's or mom's collection. What do you think? Let us know. Let us know in the comments. What are you hoping Hasbro will do next in this line? And are you as excited as we are, in the hopes that maybe this will open up the door for 3/4 scale Gauntlet Fighter or Fang Fighter in the Vintage Collection packaging? Because Vintage Collection, as far as action figures, while it has been getting more love and some of the figures have been really good, hopefully Hasbro gets back in the habit of doing more vehicles as well. And that new Blue Leader's X-Wing does look very cool. So I am excited, but we have T-65s. Let's get some more other vehicles in VC, please, Hasbro. Stay tuned for more RebelScum.com content, guys. Check out other RebelScum.com videos and articles on RebelScum.com. Follow us on social media. That's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you another time. May the Force be with all of you, you Rebel Scum.